Hey everybody, we're back. Sorry that I look like I have a first class ticket on the Hot Mess Express. I just got done running a Spartan race. So he did too. He got pretty injured.
I look injured.
So I'm pretty messy, pretty dirty. You know, we've had to run in the mud and do all kinds of fun stuff, but we're in a new city, and of course we had to find another Goodwill.
We're in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Isn't that the Queen City?
The Queen City.
Okay. See, I'm not an idiot.
I'm not sure which queen, but it's one of them.
Queen Charlotte, I would imagine. But here we are. We're just happened to find a Goodwill on our way from the race, so we're just gonna pop in, hopefully find something.
Oh, you're right. They call her Charlotte of Mecklenburg.
See, learn something every day. But yeah, hopefully we'll find something, bring you guys along. As usual, if you see anything that we don't pick up or we miss, leave it in the comments. Let us know.
Let's go!
We're just going to kind of give you a little bit of commentary as we go through here. This particular Goodwill wasn't that busy, and it was actually very organized compared to the ones that we're used to in Columbia. I usually go to the shoes first because I have the best idea of what I'm looking for there. I don't remember seeing anything that I like there, so I kind of made my way to the plush. Plush is really hit or miss. You really have to try to find specific brands or specific characters. This Nerf guns also are really hit or miss depending on the style of gun and all that kind of stuff. You really need to look those up specifically.
I think while you're looking at plushes and stuff, I'm looking at shirts. Except in this particular case, because I'm standing right there next to you.
I was looking at this golf bag. It was in really good condition, but no recognizable brand, so left that there. Now these, I think these are hockey skates. I recently found a pair of Nike hockey skates at a Columbia Goodwill, and those actually sold really well for us. I think I paid $16 for it, and they sold for $70 if I'm not mistaken. However, this was, again, not a big brand, so I ended up leaving those. And then looking at all the golf clubs, again, I just look for either Titleist, Callaway, TaylorMade, or Ping. None of these were really any good brands.
And I know nothing about golf clubs, so you will never see me in the golf club section.
One thing to know, sometimes those golf covers can be worth money depending on what they are. I did find some Disney themed golf club covers and paid $1 for those at a yard sale and ended up selling those for like $50 plus a piece. So those are definitely something to keep an eye out for as well. More Nerf gun. If we didn't have some already that we're trying to sell, I may have spent a little bit more time looking these up. But since we already had a pretty good bit listed that haven't really been moving as well as we thought, I ended up leaving all of those.
At this point, I'm probably either in the apparel section or looking at their electronics. And if I'm not mistaken, they did not have a very big electronic selection to choose from. And I don't think I picked anything up from this Goodwill electronic-wise.
One thing that I would like to get better at is like ceramics, dishes, that kind of stuff. I have zero idea of what brands to pick there. Obviously, SpongeBob, very recognizable character, caught my eye. The mugs or glassware here, I believe, was 50 cents. So I figured we can't lose any money on that. Somebody's going to eventually buy that. All right. Goodwill number 2, still in Charlotte. We found like 5 items at the other one.
Yeah, and they look pretty good. So hopefully this one has a better
Selection.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Let's go.
Sometimes brands like stores and stuff where you have to wear their uniform, sometimes their stuff sells well. I believe I just grabbed that hat and went to look it up later, and it really wasn't worth anything, so I put it back. This Carolina Panthers clear bag I thought would be really good because at going into football games, to get in the stadium, they all require a clear see-through bag for you to carry your stuff in. And I figured, that would kind of be in a higher demand. But when I looked it up, the sell-through rate just was not there. Kind of thumbing through these t-shirts. Again, t-shirts aren't that profitable by themselves. If you can group them up with things. I can't remember how much t-shirts were at this Goodwill, but at the ones in Columbia, they're either $1 or $1.50. I want to say they were a little bit more expensive here. Obviously the Beatles, very well-known band that thought would sell well, but once I looked, it wasn't. And then we find, I have no idea why a Putin shirt was in there, but definitely left that. Should have buried it. This was an interesting American flag, like Irish flag shirt. Again, probably too unique to sell on eBay, but it looked pretty cool if you had Irish background. So a lot of times American made or American proud shirts or just, American flag, whatever, typically you can look at those to kind of sell well. So even though this may have not have been a recognizable brand who made the shirt, it still was worth at least looking at. And then, of course, Nike typically want to look those up as well. But again, t-shirts are just kind of If you find some good ones, cool. If not, you're not really losing out on too much money. I'm sure there are some t-shirts out there worth way more than usual, but generally speaking.
And we'll definitely go into more detail in a different video about brand awareness and what to look for. And so that's another reason why we don't always pick up things just because they're name brand.
Prime example are these Under Armour shoes. Under Armour, again, is you can find some good stuff that'll sell. It just really depends between shoe on shoe. I thought that first pair that I just picked up was very unique, especially with the soles. They were in excellent condition, but once I looked them up, they just weren't selling. So we ended up putting those back. All right, so while JD's working on the receipt, I guess, quick little lesson learned from being a new reseller. If you see something that you think might be worth it, grab it and put it in your buggy. I found a pair of shoes that looked really nice. I wasn't familiar with the brand, so I turned my back to look them up, and within 2 seconds, a guy swooped in and snatched them. So lesson learned there. If you have any kind of inkling that it might be worth anything, put them in your buggy, look them up later. So
happens to the best of us, and well, you are certainly the best.
Won't make the same mistake next time. DVDs, probably 99.9% of the time, you're not going to find anything aside from if you find complete seasons of special shows. This, just because they had the whole box set, I took a chance and just looked at it, and then looked it up, and apparently it's a British sitcom, if I'm not mistaken, and it eventually does sell. I believe the DVDs here were either $1, $1.50. And they only charged me $1.50 for the full set. So got a definite good bargain there. I look down here, Gone with the Wind, obviously big movie, but VHS is just, they're just really not going to sell. I mean, if you get special editions or maybe that Dr. Zhivago that was completely sealed, sometimes you can get those graded like you do baseball cards and stuff, and maybe with a pristine grade, you might be able to sell them well, but it's really not worth the hassle, in my opinion.
Which is why the DVD section is one place you will never see me at the Goodwill.
Just kind of perusing the clothes, making my way over to the plush. Surprisingly, once we started really going through Goodwills trying to find things, we find a lot of Olaf plush. We have a listing now. I think there's 5 or 6 different Olaf plushes in the lot that I'm trying to sell now.
I have moved on over to apparel. That's kind of like my go-to area. Even though we never really set like a protocol or anything, we kind of have like a routine when we go into Goodwills. Travis tends to go to the plushes and the media section. I check out electronics, shoes, and apparel, mainly men's dress shirts.
Just kind of looking at the toy section, a whole lot of board games here. The thing with board games, if you could get some very old school board games, 1970s, 1980s, Milton Bradley, those can sell pretty well, but you take a major risk buying them at Goodwill in that you never know if all the pieces will be there or not. I'll look over here at the bags. Again, that's something else that we need to brush up on brands of bags, women's bags especially. Those can be very lucrative if you know what to look for.
There is a Nike bag over in this section. Is that one that we pick up?
Yeah, so as far as duffel bags or men's athletics bags, I do know what to look for there, and Nike's obviously a good one. It's just a good little gym bag right there. I pick it up. I feel like bags were $4.75 here, and looking up just on eBay, just random blue Nike duffel bag, gym bag. I think it ended up selling for, off the top of my head, I think $15. So $4.75 to $15, not the biggest profit margin, but profit it is. So we grabbed that.
And while he's looking through these bags, I'm in a men's apparel looking for Brooks Brothers shirts, because I think those are something that we do really good in.
This bag, I really liked. I know it's incredibly unique, but that embroidery was spot on. And 2007, I mean, isn't really a special year, but I figured somebody would eventually like that from maybe a trip that they took to Disney World in 2007. Maybe it'll spark their nostalgia and they'd want to buy it. Now, this is a bowling ball bag. We've had somewhat of success selling bowling balls. This bag was in excellent condition.
We're getting back in the bowling ball game after I swore I would never get back in, but here we are. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Coach bags, Dooney and Burke's, Louis Vuitton are also counterfeited a lot, and it's very hard for me to determine what's real or not.
And eBay has really strict rules about selling these types of name brand items on their platform.
Even if you mention that it's counterfeit. But I do find this really cool Wizard of Oz bag that it just looks unique, and I figured somebody would like that as well for cheap. All right. What, you think this is probably last stop?
Probably last stop. We've been to 2 other Goodwills, and
well, we've found some like different type stuff that we usually see, so
yeah,
I'm pretty satisfied with that. I have a pretty cool apparently like player worn, it looks like a starter or warm-up outfit for Texas A&M. It's super clean. It looks really good. I can't really find any comps on it, but I'm gonna do a little bit more research and hopefully find something. But I think it was a pretty cool, it's at least a pretty cool thing, and I hope it'll sell, but I was pretty satisfied with that.
I was really on the fence with those ski boots, but I chose to pass on them, and I'm going to try and sleep at night, so.
Y'all, look, that's where I had a headband that said Spartan on it. Look at that. Oh my God. All right, we got to get through this so I can go take a shower. So we had to get home. I had to take a shower. But this is the Letterman's jacket, I guess you could call it. I think it's more of a like athlete warm-up jacket, but it was super cool. Like I said, it's super clean. It even has the player ID on it. It looks like it's DL. No idea who DL is. I'm not a Texas A&M fan because they usually beat the brakes off of Carolina every year. So, however, you can't pass something this unique up. It's very hard to see if it'll sell because, again, it is very unique. There isn't one that's currently listed. And so we're just going to throw it up there for auction. Hopefully around football season, some Aggies will come looking for it. And I was just excited because I thought it was super cool. It's super unique. It did come with a like an undershirt, like a Adidas undershirt, but we went ahead and put that up. But yeah, this was pretty cool. So I was pretty excited about it.